Greg, a big part of the success last year was what we heard from players is how much you emphasized takeaways and then how many you guys got. Had you noticed before the Iowa game or been concerned about the amount of takeaways and how do you explain the dip relative to last year?
I definitely was concerned, not only before the Iowa game, but as the season progressed, we weren't getting them at the rate that I expect to get them and that we expect to get them as a defense. We talked about it last week, and we actually made it a huge emphasis and got more in practice than we've had at any point this season. It's been my history that when you do that in practice in a given week, that you end up doing that in the game. It didn't hold true this week. I'm hoping that we do it again this week, and collectively that happens. But it's kind of like a batting streak. I've been doing this a long time, and you go through streaks where you're just getting them in bushel baskets, and then sometimes you hit a lull. We're doing a lot of the same emphasis drills and a lot of the same emphasis things on video, and as much if not more. It's not adding up right now, but we keep going. It will.
Can it be as simple as pointing to those three guys that you're missing in the secondary from last year?
I don't think it's that simple, but I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about 3 first-round picks, right? So, but I'm confident we will start to get them. I really am. I mean, we're just not getting them right now.
Greg, on both losses, you guys were taking advantage of, I guess, in the play-action pass game. And I'm sure coming out of Oklahoma, you thought you had it fixed. What was it against Iowa that allowed them to be so successful running play-action passes against you guys?
Unfortunately, I mean, you're right. They were play-action passes in both games. They're totally different.
Sure.
Different types of things, so it wasn't similar at all, yet they are both classified as play-action pass. They did a very nice job. We didn't do a great job coaching. We didn't get our guys to understand what exactly was happening. They did a very good job.
And I guess, in general, looking back, just your level of preparedness for that game, it didn't seem like Iowa was doing anything out of the ordinary, except maybe throwing it a little more than they normally do, but it just seemed like your side of the ball was not ready for what they were throwing at it.
Well, they did do something quite a bit out of the ordinary, actually. Well, I'm not going to get into all the specifics of it because I don't really want to see it again, but it was a lot of unbalanced trading back. They did a lot of things that presented issues that they had not done before. I mean, had they done them, they did them a few times. In a 7-game breakdown, they probably did it 8 times. They did it 26 times in one game. But at Ohio State, the one thing that, in the places that I've been where you have really good players, you have to expect things that have not shown up on tape. And I didn't do a good job of getting our guys adjusted during the game. And it's disappointing. But as a coach, and especially as a coordinator, you have to be able to get things fixed faster than we did. But when you really look, because no matter how long you do it, it's an incredibly hard thing to swallow and to get over. And we had our opportunities. We had our opportunities to get off the field. We didn't do it. When you don't get off the field on 3rd down, oftentimes you live to see a lot of plays that you never needed to see. And for a lot of different reasons. But we need to get all of it fixed, and it falls on me and our coaching staff to get that done. We have great players. We got to get them in position to go make plays, and we got to get it right fast.
It seems like they did a lot of misdirection stuff, where they were trying to clear openings and then go where the openings are clear. Is that what you're kind of referring to?
I don't know if it was so much that as much as usually you get 1 or 2 unusual things in a game. We probably got 8 or 10. It's a good job. It's no excuse. We just didn't. When we were playing against good players, there's a very small margin of error. So when you've practiced something, you do it, and you're good, you stop it. And when we didn't get them to be able to recognize it fast enough, and there was good players doing it. So.
Pro Football Focus has been very critical of your linebackers. Like they're saying, among the worst in the Big Ten. Is that fair criticism of the linebackers? When you grade your linebackers, are they playing at a substandard level?
No, I wouldn't say that, but I would say that we struggled with a couple of things Saturday. And again, to me, that comes back to us. So now we have good linebackers. We have to get them to do their job. And if they're not, then you have to examine why. And that to me is coaching. That's why you coach. So it hurts, but it's our job. Look in the mirror and figure out. And unfortunately, we lost one because of it.
Do you think you need to simplify anything on the defense?
I don't think it's simplify, but probably need to be a little different. You know, college football is a little different. I don't think it's simplify. I think it's focus, if that makes any sense.
Then with Michigan State's offense coming up, like what kind of different problems does that pose for you?
Well, there is multiple as any team we've played this year. So we really have to be on point. They do everything from gun-run game to what we saw the other day. Multiple tight ends and heavy people and unbalanced sets, all the way to what we do. Gun-run, spread. So, and everything in between, if that makes sense. So this is a final exam for sure. And we got to work cut out for us. We got to make sure we're prepared when we enter that game Saturday.
Greg, do you feel that it seems often that when the defensive line doesn't rush the passer, that the secondary will have issues like staying on their man for long enough. Do you feel that the defensive line has to continuously maintain that pressure in order to feel confident against the passing game?
I mean, pass defense is a combination of pass rush and pass coverage, always. And how many people you dedicate to the rush is direct correlation with how many people you're able to have in the secondary. So how that rush is organized, the effectiveness of it certainly has an impact on the coverage. But again, I've seen us cover at a high level, so it's not where we can't. We didn't cover some things, and I'm not sure it was coverage skills as much as probably recognition and seeing it fast enough.
Greg, are you guys considering any personnel changes on the back end of the back seven of the defense, I guess, this week?
We've been tinkering all year as far as repetitions, and we're rotating guys, but no wholesale things.
Coach, thank you very much.
Okay, guys, take
Thanks,
care.
Greg.
Good one.